dilemma whether to invest such amount of money, right? So,
Okay.
yeah, and being you in the land and having the experience and having the exposure to the surrounding and understanding of what will happen once we go there, I think you can provide some insight, right? So, thank you so much, Srinivas, for having this podcast with me, and I'm glad you accepted my proposal. So, as you understand, this podcast is mainly driven for students who are looking for masters in Germany. And as you're doing your masters, you have started your masters in SRH Heidelberg. So, I request you to introduce yourself, and later on, we'll move with the questions.
So my name is Srinivas Chaitanya Surisetti. I have done my bachelor's in mechanical engineering from Vignan's Institute of Information Technology. Basically, I come from South India, Vishakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. So my college is affiliated to JNTU Kakinada. So my overall aggregate was 74.16. That's basically in a CGPA, it is almost like 7.8 or something like that. But we don't have any CGPA system, so I had to apply via my aggregate.
Okay.
So after that, I did a work. I worked for some time, like almost an year in a startup company. I worked as a technical and marketing analyst. So basically, my job profile was where I had to go and deliver work, guest lectures, and seminars, and kind of workshops on robotics and aeronautics. Since my bachelor's project was basically it was on aeronautics, so
Okay.
my job it suited me well, and so I even though only back then I have decided to work for my decided to do my master's degree. So my dad gave me 1 year of time to do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
So I started learning German. I did my IELTS, and even simultaneously I did my job. Also, that I did above which I did some certification on non-destructive testing and all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I started applying for universities. So one thing I would like to say that even I paid for consultancy.
Okay.
But the thing was, yeah, but the thing was, I did not pay as much as other people. All the other consultancies charge like 40,000 or 60,000. I just paid like 15,000 because I know the guys over there. So yeah, I realized it later. Like everyone, you don't need a consultancy. But the best thing I have experienced from my consultancy was the visa slot,
Okay.
because you see the worst part of having coming to Germany is the visa, where you
Right.
don't get visa slots.
Right.
I got a visa slot uh, where I did not have to take any more stress,
Mm-hmm.
and above which remaining was mine, because these consultancies they don't guide you. They
Right.
just forward your applications and all.
That's it.
Where if and Bad thing about consultancies is that they don't even evaluate your profile. You just give your profile, they say apply whatever you want.
Yeah.
But other people, but basically you're supposed to say if my percentage is 74.16, you're supposed to say that maybe you cannot your uh, chances of getting into a technical university is slim. Your chances of getting into any other public university is okay. Your chances of getting into private university is high. You're supposed to say that. These consultancies don't say
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
So I later realized that. So even I tried to help several students to not get registered in any consultants.
Mm-hmm.
So I realized that, and I did my IELTS. I got 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
So for Germany, it is not so required. For Germany, 6.5 is more optimum score. You
Right.
don't have to get low.
Mm-hmm.
And above which, I would like to say for all the students who just want to join any IELTS coaching, I say please don't.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very easy exam. Basic English is all that matters. Just you have to be confident enough. And coming to the German language, which you actually want to pursue, it's okay. You can learn from any YouTube or just by watching German movies and some. And I did my B1, not Goethe, CEFR certification, which is a Common European Framework Reference, which is not as great as Goethe one. But that's okay. I was able to come home after landing the flight all alone,
Mm-hmm.
just by speaking German to the nearby class. That was fine. But no matter how much you learn German in India, once you only after coming to Germany, you learn the real German.
Ah, okay.
Till then, it's just like, yeah, it's not that. Yeah,
It's like
that's
you don't aware about the environment because the fluency that German people have, it is something different, right?
yeah.
That is difficult to catch. So, as I understand, your basic profile is like 74 percentile in your bachelor's degree, then IELTS 7.5, and you are having German when German language proficiency while applying is B1. Am I right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
B1.
B1. So again, the German profile, German language proficiency was good. So how many universities you applied, and what was your approach? Because your profile is decent enough to get a good university, right? So
Yeah, I'll get this point straight.
mhm,
Back then, when I wanted to pursue my master's degree, I was looking for really a core branch,
mhm,
like some production engineering, uh, some automotive and all.
mhm,
So later I realized that, uh, see, because I did not do my Goethe certification, it
mhm,
was just a normal CVF certification, which is a basic one.
mhm,
So if you want to really want to have high chances of getting into these kind of branches, you really need to have
mhm.
German language proficiency to pursue your masters in German.
Okay.
So I did not want that. I just wanted to do my masters in English courses.
Mhm,
So
mhm,
then I realized that the number of universities you have with respect to the number of branches you actually opt for are very less.
yeah,
See,
true.
I'll tell the basic stereotype of every student, every master aspirant is that just because I'm aiming for automotive engineering, I need to get into Germany.
Yeah.
Everyone's dream is that
Yes.
because Germany is a land of automotive industry.
Right. Right.
But let me get this straight.
Mhm,
The automotive, if you want to pursue automotive engineering, the colleges I'll tell you: FH Haken,
mhm,
RWTH Haken, um,
Ingolstadt.
TH Ingolstadt,
Mhm.
Esslingen University of Applied Sciences. Only these four are there.
Yes, and
And
IFH.
Esslingen, RWTH, yeah, RWTH, you need to have GRE score of 310.
10.
And yeah, I'll tell you something really interesting. Me and my friend applied for production engineering in RWTH.
Mhm.
I applied one day later and he got with the same percentage as I have. So,
Ah.
yeah. But later, but see, you never know how the future is going to be.
Mhm.
See, the saturation of engineers all over the world, especially in Germany, from international students, especially from India, is too damn high.
Yes, it's true.
So even the
Mhm.
competition for job
Mhm.
is also the same.
As you said, the competition is tough. Basically, from last 5 years, it's been just
Yeah.
staggering and staggering. The applications from Indian students is like majorly the applications for masters in Germany are from Indian students if it is an international course, and this trend has changed. Earlier, it was for USA and Canada, but nowadays it is for Germany. The obvious reason is because there's no tuition fee, and because of that the competition is way higher than what we think.
Apart from that, I'll tell you something that is really interesting.
Hmm.
So, since I am learning some business engineering, in 2018, Angela Merkel, our chancellor, has passed a law where she said that we have opened our borders to all the people all over the world. You can come here and work without even knowing the knowledge. You can take a job seeker visa, come to Germany, stay for 6 months, search for a job, come and start working here.
Right.
And why wouldn't students come here? And provided, I think from 2011 or 2013, Germany has started this public universities where it is open for international students. Even they don't have any tuition fees. I think if I don't.
Right.
So yeah, and also you have an excellent lifestyle over there.
Right.
When you come to Germany, everything's like certified to the core. Everything is contract based. There you have your blocked account. Everything is contract based, where you get like 848 euro per month
Mhm.
in your bank. Everything certified, and also
So again, look, I just wanted to get a clear idea when I said approach about your application. So like, how many universities you sorted, and what were the response you received? If you would like to brief about that, and at the end, how come you concluded to choose SRH Heidelberg over other universities?
yeah, I started applying from December. My first university was Technical University of Berlin, Global Production Engineering.
Mm-hmm.
So the application process was quite hectic and very very clumsy because the portal was not so good, and I tried several times, and my application went on March 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I already received one rejection from Technical University of Dortmund.
Okay.
I applied for some manufacturing technology.
Mm-hmm.
It stated that there were a lot of reasons. There is no proper reason because I'll tell you what.
Mm-hmm.
Back from 2017, Germany has witnessed growth of 66% of international students, especially from India.
Right.
So on this account, and also people who once they come here, what they're exactly doing is public universities basically they provide. You can take a semester break,
Mm-hmm.
so you can do some job or you can do some internship, and you can prolong your visa
Mm-hmm.
for a long time as far as your studies is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
So for this reason, German government has made strict in these rules back from 2018, because till 2017 the growth was like 80% Indians coming every year. So after observing all these things, the German government has said that let's stop, let's make this more stricter. Yeah, and most of the universities now they are starting to put like 210 ECTS credit points for their elements. So that was my problem, major problem, that my university offered me like 180 credits, and most of the universities now started demanding 210. So I got a lot of rejections from that. I almost applied for like 9, 10 I applied, and later I applied to at last, like I applied my university in April 2019, that was SRH Heidelberg International Business. So the reason for me applying this particular course is that I have come to know that the saturation of engineers are too damn high. And provided if the competition is too damn high, you will have to have an additional qualification of the German language proficiency, no matter what. Moreover, Germans are not that kind of people who are strictly considered about your percentages or CGPA or whatever. They notice how you're working, what your skill is, how good you interact with them, and all. So I decided maybe it's not the right choice. That's the reason why I'm receiving such a kind of rejections and all. So I asked my friends. I have several friends all over Germany. Like my friend who is in Dresden now, he's doing his practicum in Fraunhofer. It's the company. So he is studying in Hochschule Kaiserslautern now. Currently, he's doing his master's thesis. So he said that no, it's not right for you to do this. So I thought, yeah, maybe I can just look into something else. Then I realized that Germany is German after this Brexit and all. There's a lot of issues that are happening. I realized that Frankfurt is a banking hub. Maybe I can it's an opportunity. You have a hub here. So then I started like, okay, we'll do engineering. Apart from that, we'll have to have something else, which is the management. Because management is key for everything. No matter how good you are at engineering, if you don't know how to sell your product, how good engineer you are.
Right.
Then I decided to do this international business engineering.
Okay.
So I applied in SRH Heidelberg. I got my acceptance, and later I even applied for SRH Berlin. Yeah, even I got there.
Great.
I got two applications confirmed. Okay. So out of these two, talking about Berlin, the capital city of Germany, where you can live your life freely without any cultured Germans. Like it's a multicultural city where you have a lot of English speaking guys, but it's also a university city where you have Technical University of Berlin, BBW Berlin, SRH Berlin next to each other.
What is your
first impression? Was we had our the enrollment and the introductory first period. You have enrollment period where I was in the initial days. For the first 3 days, we had very good events like the campus rally, the university tour, and all. Where everyone were divided into groups, like 4 to 5 people. Everyone was given a tablet.
Okay.
There were OMRs all over the university. You just have to go there and find out. There were a lot of tasks and everything. Then I realized that just for exploring the campus, if you have this much of research put into a single tablet, where you have to solve puzzles and all, just imagine what would be the quality of education later.
Right.
Then I realized, wow, goodness. And and for international students, our university is like, God, man, get a lot of amenities and all. Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah, so this is what we expect, because if we are giving our money and our time, and if you're traveling there, so this is what we expect, a quality of education we should be having in lieu of paying money, right? So how much it will cost you for your masters, and what are the prospect of part-time jobs? And again, now you are doing you're studying, it's almost a year now, right? More than a year now. So now you might have experiences from your seniors as well. So I want you to answer first, like quality of education, then the part-time job opportunities, and the third is the job perspective after masters, and whether the university will assist you in terms of internships and the job after masters. So this is
okay. For this question, I'm gonna start it very differently by talking about my visa. Okay. So talking about this, my private university, since SRH is a private university, I was issued a visa for 3 months. Unlike for public universities, you get for like 6 months. I was given 3 months of visa. after coming here. So and the visa extension depends on which city you actually live in.
Right.
So since my university is Heidelberg, I'm living in Mannheim. Mannheim is almost like 18 kilometers away from Heidelberg.
Okay.
And here every city has its own rules and regulations. When you come here and go for a visa extension, you get here for 2 years of visa.
Okay.
Yeah, unlike in Heidelberg, it's not like that.
Okay.
Just you go for 18 kilometers away, the scenario is different. You get only 1 year of visa, and for second year, you'll again have to show your block account or a job contract.
Okay.
In Mannheim, it's not like that.
Oh.
Just 1 year blocked account, having no any job contract, you can get 2 years of visa. In Mannheim, you get 2 years of visa, just 1 year of blocked account.
1 year
This
of
is my RD card.
Yes. So
Blocked
this,
account.
this is something when you go to embassy for exchange your visa, right? Once you have the visa of 3 months from India, and then you have to
You have to come after you come here, you do your citizenship and everything, and then you ask for an appointment because your visa expires.
Right.
Some or the other day. You'll have to need a visa appointment. They'll provide you. I came here on October 1st, and I went to the office on 10th of October. I got my appointment for 11th of November. My visa expires on 28th of December. So I got for 11th of November. I had an interview, and the visa office is called the Ausland Bahode.
Okay.
Go there, you ask for them. So, and one thing, when I got my 3 months of visa for the first time from India, it will be mentioned on that saying 120 ABS, section 120 ABS, which states that you can work till then, till the visa ends.
Okay.
You can work like 20 hours a week. But after you come here and you don't even have any kind of a circle and everything, no prior knowledge about the city, you cannot do. But after you get your visa card, you can start applying for jobs anywhere. Like suppose in my city, there are a lot of part-time jobs. Like there are a lot of companies like Burger King, McDonald's, and pizza delivery service like Domino's, Pizza Hut, and there are a lot of restaurants. And there is like in India we have Swiggy and Zomato. Here we have Lieferando, where the delivery goes on cycles. Cycles are very famous in Germany. So it happens very quickly. And best thing is that you can even pick your cycle, put it in the tram, you can travel anywhere. Nobody gives a damn here. That's the best part here. And also you can even start applying for the student and work. That is in the companies, you can start applying. They pay you really high, but the chances of getting into them are really slim because the competition is high. Like my friend from my classroom has got a job in SAP. She has applied for more like 175 times for the same post in the same company. She got a response, and her contract has begun in February 4th of 2020. So I never wanted to work till I was good with money. But later on, with the peer pressure, I've seen my friends earning, so I just wanted to start working. So currently, I'm working at Burger King in Mannheim. From one of railway station, we have Burger King big one. So I work there. I get paid like €9.35 per hour, and my work is for 20 hours a week. Sometimes I do more than that, and I will be done about that. It depends on the shift allotted.
So, like a month, how much you earn by doing part-time job?
If it is €9.35, usually go for like the tax. So it's €9 per hour. So I get a lot of food, free food to eat a lot. I mean, I eat like 20 euros a day and earn.
Okay, so that is a good part working in Burger King or McDonald's, right?
Yeah. So it's almost like I believe it is 720, 740 per month.
Like it's almost like you are keeping your block amount as it is.
I started working from February 16, 2020.
Right.
And I worked for 1 month and quarantine began.
but let's forget about this situation. But coming months, if the situation is under control and everyone is open, like everything is open, and if the students are coming for their masters in Germany, so what you're saying, they can do part-time job and save the money in the block account, but keeping in mind that it will take some times to find a job, right? So as you said,
not like that. I'll tell you the story behind how I got my job in Burger King. My friend is working over there like in the Kasa. Kasa is usually the counter where he takes the orders in the counter and types the bills and all. So he said that I'm working. So I asked him, how did you get the job? He said, I just went. I asked, I got the job. He's like, okay, let's give it a try. I went there. And the best part was one of the managers was a Pakistani, so he knows Hindi. So I didn't know that he was a Pakistani, and I started speaking German like, ich bin ein Student der Hauptschule ich möchte gerne hier arbeiten machen. Then he said, okay, where are you from? I said, from India. He said, Hindi aata hai na? He said, okay, I know. And then he started, just want, for getting a job in the food industry, you need to have a certificate called the Gesundheitspass, which is basically the health certificate.
Okay.
So it will be issued by a doctor. So you go to there, get the certificate, you just submit the documents. The next day, I had an interview with one of the managers. He was a Turkish guy, and the interview went in German. It doesn't matter even if you know German or English. It doesn't matter, because if you know German, you'll be on the casa. If you don't know German, you'll be in the kitchen.
Okay.
But though I know German, I'm working in the kitchen. It depends on the.
Okay, it's depend on the production, right? So yes, so you're saying the part-time jobs are there. Okay, now so what about the quality of education that you're having in SRH, and about the post studies job opportunities, and what are the assistance you may get from the university or not?
Okay. Coming to Germany, you get like 1.5 year of stay after your studies here. So you can just take home, start searching for jobs. So the first thing is that increase your circle and get more contacts. Second thing, strengthen your profiles in LinkedIn, Zing, Stepstone.de. 3 important websites: Zing, Stepstone.de, and LinkedIn. Okay. Stepstone.de in India, back in India when I had no university admission, I applied one job in Stepstone.de and I got it. I was given like 3 lakhs, but he asked me if I had any job searcher visa. I said no, I don't have any visa, and he said okay, you have a job seeker visa, and you can just proceed and you can come here. We'll have but since I just wanted to have a national visa, like student visa, so I didn't want to take in this scope. But yeah, these are the 3 things which are really required. And for every aspirant or every person, I'd like to say, develop your language.
Yeah.
Language is the key.
That is something.
No matter, but it's apart from that. Let's suppose the computer science students, like you applied computer science or IT, these guys don't even have to have a language, because there are dedicated companies for these people, like the SAP, Heidelberg Siemens. You don't even have to have a German language proficient to get in these companies. But though, I strongly suggest, if you want to sit in a managerial position or you want to be a team leader or a project leader, manager, you definitely have to learn German, because German is everything.
Right. So it's mandatory if you're looking for a job or looking to do job after your masters, you should be proficient in German, right? So that is again one thing that should understand. So you already expressed the part-time job and the job perspective after masters. So again, I think I somewhat got the intent that you were trying to say, if we do part-time job and if we continue for longer time, then it might be that we are able to earn the money that we are investing in it, or rather what all loan we are taking.
But there are two types of part-time jobs here. One is a part-time job that is for 20 hours per week, or 120 full days.
Okay.
Another type of job is the mini time job, that is the mini job.
Okay.
Where you work for 12 hours a week.
Okay.
You earn 450 per month. If it is €9 per hour, like 9.35. That is like that. All those ranges like 420, 450, depends on the amount of salary you get. Basically, most of the part-time jobs here you find are within €10, like in restaurants and all. But if you know German, I have started searching for several jobs later. Then I have found that if you are a good teacher, like you want to conduct some tutorials for students, children, you can earn almost like 13 to 15 euro. But you need to learn German. Yeah. And if you have a driving license, international driving license, and do the logistics, you can earn like 15 to 17 euro. I've seen that.
So that is again something which student can think about, right? So if they want, this is something which is very important, because the reason this podcast is going on is because I personally, we want to help students. Look, there are someone who just think the money is the constraint, right? And if that is the case, they should understand if this is the opportunities that you're getting, and if you're able to take a loan, because there are banks which offer loan up to 12 lakh without even a mortgage, right? So if they see that they can earn money while doing study itself, and they can sustain their life, at the same time they can pay back the loan itself. So this is again a very good point. Thank you so much for bringing this up. And I think this will help a lot of students to
I'll
follow their
tell you
dreams.
what, there was my friend, his name is Sagar Omble.
Hmm.
Uh, there was a job opening in Amazon.
Hmm.
That was in another place called Ludwigshafen. It's next state next to us. That is, but when you cross the river, it is the next state,
Hmm.
Ludwigshafen. So there was a place called something I don't remember. Amazon offered like 11 euro, 12 euro per hour.
Hmm.
It was a late night job, like from 10 to 5.
Hmm.
So my friend earned like almost 1100 euro in that month,
Oh my
and he
goodness.
sent the entire money to India.
Oh my goodness. So
By
yes,
transfer, by that app called the TransferWise,
yes,
I think.
yes, transfer
Yeah,
wise.
he sent that money. Yeah,
No,
similar way you can just.
yes, the reason I'm saying this because the way you said you can earn minimum 450, right? Or at max you can earn 1100. So I would
Yeah,
take the mid, and let's say if you're earning 700 per month, because I have seen that even though you get around 850 euros from your Bluff account, you won't be utilizing all of the euro. You'll be saving some of it, right? So you hardly spare 500 or 600 euros from those 800 euros. And
yeah,
yeah, and that way what you're doing, you're earning the money, you're saving some. What you can do, if you take a loan, you can pay just back, right? So that way you don't have any pressure that you need to have job. You can work, you can look for job after your masters freely. So does it really matter private or public? I know uh, publics are like, for most public universities you don't have to pay tuition fee, but there are some courses where you need to pay tuition fee, such as GPE, the Global Production
yeah.
Engineering, where you need.
1,500 euros.
Yes, so this is again then in RWTH Arcane, there are a few courses where you need to pay, which is like 5,000 per semester.
2,500 euros.
Yeah, so yeah, there are courses, right? So uh, now, do you think it is right thing to, if you are not getting any admit from public, so do you think this is right choice to go for coming students? Because I have seen a lot more questions on Facebook groups regarding this. So what do you say?
I think it's worth it.
Worth it?
Worth 100%.
I know you
Yeah, because,
you said me the
yeah,
same thing when I asked you. Yes.
yeah. Because you see, I mean, I cannot, because as from my perspective, I feel it's worth it because I have learned a lot of management skills and all. My first module was very good, and I'll tell you why. Because in our course which I'm actually pursuing, that's international business engineering, where you have the core principle. Core principle is one that type of principle our university implements for our branch students. That is, you complete your module in 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So you complete your module every 5 weeks. You don't have a semester exams in us. Like you study for 4 months, you have exams for 1 month. You don't have like that. Every 5 months you have an exam. Every 5 weeks you have an exam. Your module completes. That means you keep studying all the time. You keep doing the research all the time.
Right.
And I have been like over 7 months, and I have only had 2 written exams till now.
Okay.
Only 2 written exams. Till then, I was doing my first exam was market analysis, where I had to write a paper on a question. So I had to do a lot of research for that. Again, market and sales, I had to do a research. I had to write another paper for that, which was a class journal.
Mm-hmm.
After that, recently, 2 days back, I told you I have an exam on May 8th.
Right.
That was top management.
Mm-hmm.
Top management is basically 4 subjects having only one presentation. We have to do a case study all over 5 countries in the entire world.
Okay.
See, this is how broad you think once you get into these kind of studies, investing all this money.
So
Yeah.
basically it's like.
And also provided
Mhm.
our university for our course, we get free German classes.
Okay. Yeah.
Every week we got 2 German classes,
Mhm.
so I attend those.
Mhm.
People think that coming to Germany, learning German language from there are some institutes all over Germany, in Heidelberg and in Mannheim. In Mannheim, if you travel for like 10 minutes, you have this legendary Abend Academy where you have like 7 different languages taught. In Heidelberg, you have Hochschule where there is a Abend Academy. It charges like 240 euros per level. In Mannheim, in Heidelberg, it's like 310, 350. It depends on what level you exactly in.
Mhm.
But our university provides free language courses because you have actually paid for the course.
So basically, you're saying it depends university to university, and the choice you made, it is right choice because it gives you a broad aspect for the job because of the course. It is international management and engineering, right? And again, they offers you assistance for German language again. So this is something which is value add again to the master's degree, which will help you to find job in future. So your verdict is you will recommend this course to anyone, any aspirant students?
Why not?
Yeah.
I would recommend these kind of courses to everyone who is trying to come to Germany.
If you have the right approach in the sense, if you're giving your time to learn language, if you're giving your time to look for the job, then certainly you can invest in private university as well, because they will offer you quality education. Again, then you can look for the part-time job, which will again help you to pay the loans if you're taking. And the right choice if you invest correctly and if you think thoroughly and your approach is right, no matter whether
And
it's
moreover, I don't suggest everyone to invest in any kind of universities. First, they'll have to do a lot of research. They'll have to contact people from LinkedIn, Facebook, and everything. They have to first see the how universities maintaining their pages, how universities maintaining their social groups and all. You'll have to contact people. You have to ask them like, what is the course on your? I'll tell you what. There is one guy in our course. His name is Amit Sharma. He's 44 years old, married with 2 kids. He's having 17 years of experience in oil and gas industry in India, and he's pursuing master's degree in my course. He's in my section. Now you decide. And the other guy from computer science, I believe his name is I don't know. I'm not into that. He has like 22 years of experience in industry,
oh my
and he has invested like 12,000 euros in this computer science course.
Oh my goodness.
No one is in this because just because people are like you have 1 year of prior experience, you can get chances of getting into computer industry is high. You have like 3 years experience, you have the chance of getting into Airmatech Arcan is too high. But what about people who have 17 years of experience as a manager in oil and gas industry in India, provided he's now studying in our course?
Right.
Now you have to understand prioritization.
Right.
That's what I mean to say.
Right. So basically, it's the course which should be in our focus rather than the university. Yeah. Again, just look for the course. Don't look for the university. Branding doesn't matter. Yeah. So with this statement, I'll just conclude this podcast, and I'll thank you so much for giving your time and expressing your feelings, so that our students will look into it and they'll approach it right away.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah. So again, thank you so much.